Here's an email we received from Benson. It seems like my family is suffering from a generational curse. Is there any way to get out of it? Is there a spiritual solution? Benson, I'm really sorry to share the bad news with you, but you are actually suffering from a generational curse. In fact, everyone who's listening right now is suffering from a generational curse. We call it original sin.
Well, I thought you were going to say the boomers.
Yeah. No, it's original sin. It's the sin that we've all inherited from Adam: guilt, corruption, brokenness. And because of that, like we receive condemnation, but we're also bent inward on ourselves, as Mike, you often say. And it's just, we are by nature children of wrath, the New Testament teaches. Why? Because of this sort of generational curse, if you will, that we call original sin. Now, Benson, it sounds to me like you're probably referring to something else. Like you think of like a familial curse or something like that. And what I would do is I would point you to what the promise in the New Testament is, and actually it was foretold in the Old Testament. The promise of the New Covenant, it teaches us this, that we don't have generational sins. Actually, I mean, you think about a passage like Jeremiah 31, verse 29. I'll go to verse 31. Jeremiah 31, 29 through 31. In those days they shall no longer say, the fathers have eaten sour grapes and the children's teeth are set on edge, but everyone shall die for his own iniquity. Each man who eats sour grapes, his teeth shall be set on edge. Behold, the days are coming, declares the Lord, when I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah. Those days are here right now, Benson, through the blood of Jesus Christ. You think about what Jesus said when he instituted the Lord's Supper. This cup is the new covenant in my blood. So we have the promise of the forgiveness of sins that washes away our quote-unquote generational curse, the curse that we've inherited, the sin that all of us wrestle with and have received through our relationship with Adam. And here's the amazing thing, Benson, is that curse is washed away because Jesus took it upon himself. Galatians 3:13 says, Christ redeemed us from the curse of the law by becoming a curse for us. For it is written, cursed is everyone who is hanged on a tree. And so I think really, if we're going to talk about generational curses, let's be biblical about it, right?
Yeah.
Let's think about Adam's sin, how we've all inherited it, and let's go straight to the gospel.
That's right. And the point that you made, that in the Old Covenant, it was the case that if you are suffering from a particular illness or malady or misfortune, it could be because of your parents' sin.
Mm-hmm.
And when the Pharisees asked Jesus who sinned concerning the blind man, who sinned, this man or his parents, that he was born blind? Jesus doesn't say, well, that you didn't get from the Bible.
Mm-hmm.
He says, neither this man nor his parents, but for the glory of God, he was born blind so that I could heal him today. But it was certainly the case that people did have generational curses under the Old Covenant. The problem is people read Old Covenant histories and promises and conditions and just apply it to themselves as if we were under the Old Covenant, and we're not. We're under the New Covenant, where Ezekiel clearly says the New Covenant won't be like the Old Covenant. Mm-hmm. It's not going to be the case that you're going to have generational curses. So people need to stop believing in this idea that if your parents committed a particular sin, you're suffering from it.
Yeah.
We only suffer because of our union with Adam and because of our own sin.